Hey, what is up guys? So sometimes if I see the same question over and over on my channel, it's easier for me to just make a video like this and try to answer it for everybody. So the question today is, let's say you have a $2,000 repair on your car. You're wondering, should you just suck it up and pay the repair costs, or should you consider selling it and maybe getting something different? And it really depends on the situation, but today I'm just going to give you some of my thoughts on maybe what I would do and just some advice in this area. So first off, you have to understand that repairs and maintenance are just a very normal part of car ownership costs. And when something breaks on your car, it's not necessarily that you have bad luck. It's just that cars are incredibly complex machines and we're driving them every day, we're putting miles on them. Eventually stuff is going to get worn out and need to be replaced. So that's just a very normal thing. But I think what happens sometimes, especially with younger people, buying their very first car, I think they get in over their head and they get a car that they can't really afford. Maybe they're living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to make their car payment or their insurance payment. And so when the first little thing comes up, the first thing breaks on their car, they immediately panic, they don't have money saved, and so their first instinct is, I gotta sell this thing before things get even worse. So for me, I'm a big advocate of saving money and having an emergency fund. That way when things go wrong, you've already planned ahead for it, you've already got money set aside for repairs and maintenance. And saving money really wasn't always easy for me, and it took a life-changing event where I lost a really good job that I had for circumstances that were beyond my control, and I found myself with no income, a bunch of bills, and I had like $400 cash to my name. So as soon as I started working again, it was like my mission to set aside as much money as I possibly could to build up an emergency fund and have money set aside specifically for car repairs and maintenance. And now I don't even really worry about it. I don't get in my car every morning like, oh gee, I hope nothing breaks today. I don't think that way anymore. And if you think about my situation, I have an 11-year-old German car with no warranty. So, according to people on the internet, people on forums, I should really be scared for my life, wondering what the next big thing that's going to break is. But I really don't think that way at all, because I've already thought ahead and I've already set aside money for repairs. So what do you do when you have this big $2,000 repair cost? You're trying to decide whether you should fix it or if you should try to sell the car and maybe get something else. Well, you really have to weigh out the cost of the repair compared to the cost of selling the car and maybe losing some money to depreciation. So if you want to think about maybe a BMW 3 Series, let's say you paid $15,000 for it and need something done on it that costs $2,000, and you look up the Kelley Blue Book value, it's only worth $10,000. Well, right away, if you sell the car, you're going to lose $5,000 just to depreciation, and it's actually more than that, because that Kelley Blue Book value, that assumes that the car is in perfect running condition. So if the car has some serious issue with it, you're not going to get nearly that much money for it. Usually when people sell a car, they fix it so that they can sell it and get the most money for it, not the other way around, try to sell it so that they don't have to fix it. And then on top of all of that, you've got the taxes and the registration costs associated with buying that next $15,000 car to replace the one that you're trying to get rid of. In that situation, obviously it makes the most sense to just pay the $2,000, get the car fixed, and get it back on the road. Now there are some situations where you are better off just getting rid of that car and getting something more reliable. So for me, my very first car, the 1995 Pontiac Sunfire, was an absolute dog. It's funny, on this channel people are always saying, oh, BMW, bring my wallet, or big money wasted. You want to know what a real money pit is? Was my Sunfire, and it was the definition of a money pit, because I actually couldn't save money for a new car because every paycheck was just being dumped into repairs on that car. So for me, I ended up spending so much money, it just got to the point where I was spending more than the car was actually worth, and it just got to a point where I had to cut my losses and say, you know what, I'm done with this car, I just need to get rid of this and get something more reliable. So if you've got this piece of junk car that you absolutely hate, every other week it seems like something's going wrong with it, and you've spent more money than the car is actually worth, then definitely by all means get rid of it and get yourself into something a little bit more reliable that's not going to cost an arm and a leg to keep on the road. So I'm assuming that most people who watch my channel are car enthusiasts, even if you're not BMW owners, and I would think that if you have a car that you really love, that you would do everything that you possibly could to repair the car and keep it, rather than just try to sell it right away. So that's why it's kind of confusing when I hear people say, I've got this $15,000 car, it needs a $1,000 or $2,000 repair, and you're already trying to get rid of it. To me, that just sounds like an excuse to sell the car and maybe get something different. So I think in most situations, you're better off just paying for the repair and just getting back on the road. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this, selling a car just because something's broken on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.